So we're in the hot tub. We just jumped in. It was actually kind of cold.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Arizona Cardinals, the Phoenix Suns, and the Arizona State Sun Devils. This is my last podcast in this pool. So we're going to talk about every single team. Quinn can kick it off with whatever team he wants to.
I guess we'll start it off with the Diamondbacks. Just lost to the Cardinals.
By the way, guys, we don't know when this is going to be posted. So this could be like maybe a week old, but
Yeah, probably this part will be posted today.
yeah.
And then like the rest of it won't. We'll break this up into individual episodes.
There'll probably be about 4 or 5 of them. But
Maybe.
You'll see coming. You'll see them later.
Yeah. So they just lost to the Cardinals, a game that I think they needed to win. I want to say they lost the last 3 or 4 straight. 3. They lost the last 3 straight. Definitely not a good thing for the Diamondbacks. Of course, you will have losing streaks, except we need to keep winning, especially in such a good division.
Nah, really? I'm just kidding. No, they do need to keep winning though. Wait, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so my take on them is they actually suck, and we're gonna end it on there. So going up to the, just kidding. They are very inconsistent, as I've said many times, and you can't be consistent at being inconsistent. And Quinn said it in an episode that we'll release in a little bit later. They're consistently good at being, their bullpen is consistently good at being bad.
Yeah.
And I said they were inconsistent. He just flat out and said that they're trash, which they're in a rough patch. I will say that. They started to make a little bit of a comeback yesterday. They lost by 1, and they need to just get their heads right, and they have to start winning a lot of games because the NOS by far is the best division in baseball. And you're going to have to be well over 500 to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well over 500. Because currently, we're suspecting that there could be 4 teams from the NOS in the playoffs.
There probably will be.
But you physically have to be the best. So, obviously, you can let 2 other division winners, say the Dodgers, and then there's 2 other divisions, say, for example, the Phillies. And then the other division will be like the Brewers. So say the Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers, it's just an example, all got the top 3 spots because they won their division. The D-backs have to be better. Say the D-backs got 4th in the division. They could let only the Giants, Padres, Dodgers, Brewers, and Phillies be better than them. They have to be better than every single other team.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs if they want to make it with 4 teams. And that would be, honestly, I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, 4 teams in one division.
Obviously, we wouldn't want to be the 6th seed, but I would love to play the Brewers again. That would be very easy.
They're not good.
I would
The
love
whole
to play the
division
Phillies.
is not good.
I'd love to play the Phillies or the Brewers or the Dodgers, but it will be tough, and they're going to have to figure it out. But next, we're going to go to my opinion, my favorite topic about this podcast, and that is the Arizona Wildcats. Just kidding, it's the Arizona State Sun Devils. And today we're going to be kicking it off with, I don't even know what to talk, because guys, we're just talking off script right now.
I don't even know.
We could talk about, we should talk about pressure. Pressure for the Arizona State Sun Devils. And last year, ASU had little pressure going into the season. Obviously, you want to have a better season than 3-9. But there's not much pressure going into that season. Obviously, there's always pressure for every player to play because you want to impress, but you want to do good. And even I have pressure just playing baseball. But whenever there becomes a certain point of national pressure, that's when it becomes like, okay, there's literal, like, I want to perform great. And I think the guy who all the Arizona State Sun Devils could sort of copy off of or learn from is Cam Scadaboo. Because your dad actually made a good point. Raleek Brown.
Kyson Brown.
Oh, there's so much.
There's
Jason
like
Brown,
3
Kyson
running backs
Brown,
with the
Raleek
last
Brown.
name Brown.
So Kyson Brown, he got. I thought Raleek Brown got injured.
No, Raleek Brown got injured. Kyson was
Yeah.
the backup.
Raleek Brown got injured, he was a 5-star,
From USC.
and he sort of just watched Scadaboo do his thing, and I think right now he could probably be the best running back.
I think he
We
could.
have Kanye Udo, which is very good, but I'd like Raleek Brown to be the number one if it's just me, because he watched Scadaboo because he was injured, but he watched all of his teammates perform, and I think he could be the X factor of this team, the sort of hidden X factor because of him watching all of that. Him and Jordan Tyson, I would like to bet you they are very, and all the other people were injured, but they are very mad, and they wanted to play in the Big 12 championship and the CFP. They wanted to play in all their games. Obviously, Jordan Tyson got injured against U of A, but Raleek Brown, and I guarantee you he is hungry for the CFP, and I would say that's sort of like your little hidden superstar that could be a basically Scadaboo. He's not as wrecking ball type, but he's fast and he's quick.
About Raleek Brown, I don't know like much of him like as a person, but I will say I could assume he would want to be at ASU. He came here not this year, but he came here last year after a 3-9 season when they were supposed to be bad. He transferred from USC, which was a pretty good program at the time. They didn't have a great season.
Yeah, but there's always transfers that go out.
Yeah, but he came to ASU 3-9. He saw something in Kenny Dillingham, so he came here and he got injured, and he could have transferred because he's a good player. He could have transferred out, and he stayed here, and now I think he could be the running back one in this offense.
Yeah, I'd say we're rooting for him to get it. I would just say that, just because of what he's gone through, transferring from USC, a pretty good college, and getting injured. Did he get like a year of eligibility back?
I think it was a medical redshirt year, I think.
So, yeah, we'll see. Kanye Udo is good, and I don't know much about him. The only thing that I've watched is he did like a hot wings challenge with the PHNX people, and he seemed very chill. So we'll see. If you want to watch that, go watch that. I want to do that challenge. Let me know in the comments. I will do the hot wings challenge. It's where you eat like a bunch of levels of hot wings. It's pretty crazy. But going on to the Arizona Cardinals, I'm gonna get the word out. I could see this team winning the division, and that's a stretch. That's a big stretch, especially for an Arizona sports fan. Knowing the Cardinals, their history, and we always say that they're going to be good, and they're not. But when you see this team, just the chemistry, because they're doing a bunch of stuff off the field.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, you know that they're serious, and that sounds a little bit crazy when they're doing fun stuff off the field and it makes them serious. But it makes them bond together and realize that they're gonna have to like be friends to win. Kind of that sounds weird, but
I know what you mean.
But doing that, I think, is a big key in being successful, and I think they're kind of not copying, but they could be going off a little bit of Kenny Dillingham right now, and you never know. But like everyone at ASU is just like together, no matter if you're a kicker, if you're a bench player, if you're a third string left tackle, they all are like part of a team, and I think that's what the Cardinals are doing right now. And that's why I think they could win their division. I'm not saying they will, but they could win the NFC West, and do not be shocked if that happens. And we'll see. I mean, could be a wild card, could be another 8-9 season, but it could be their first 12-5 season in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's I'm very excited for that.
So, I think the Cardinals, the last few years, they've done everything right on a roster standpoint. I think they nailed the draft in the last few years. They had made good hires. Jonathan Gannon, I think, is a great coach.
Yeah.
They've gotten key free agents drafted well. And ultimately, none of that will matter if Kyler Murray is inconsistent.
Yes.
Because he'll have games where he looks like an MVP candidate, and then he'll also have games
Early in the season.
And he'll also have games usually towards the end of the season where he throws 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard to watch. I'm already
I know.
going to my past memories. It's sad.
But if Kyler Murray, he doesn't have to be an MVP quarterback,
He doesn't.
but if he can be a top 10 quarterback week in and week out, or even like top 12 or 15, if he can just be an above average quarterback and not turn the ball over and not have bad games, if he can just be consistent, that's what I think the Cardinals need. And
Like
if he
the
can be
D-backs.
consistent,
Like the D-backs.
then I think the Cardinals could win the division. I don't think the Niners, they just extended Brock Purdy.
I think that, honestly, in my opinion, they're the biggest threat. If it's me, you can finish what you're going to say.
I don't know. Of course, they have Christian McCaffrey. He should.
I think
be,
it relies on him, honestly.
He should be fine. They lost Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what to think about him. Of course, they have Ricky Pearsall. I don't know how good Brock Purdy is. He's good. I just don't think he's a franchise quarterback. He doesn't make he's just a game manager.
I mean,
which there's nothing wrong with.
They paid him like he is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think they might be good next year, but the future, when they have to pay everyone else, like after they paid Brock Purdy, they can't really sign many other people.
Their Super Bowl window is closing very fast.
I think the next 2 years are their last 2 years to win the Super Bowl, and I doubt they do it. The Seahawks, I don't really know what to think about them. Sam Darnold could be good. He also could be bad. I don't know what to think about Cooper Kupp, if he's going to go back to what he was on the Rams or if he's washed.
I think he'll be.
I think he'll be okay.
He was not used enough on the. Well, I know he was. When he wasn't injured last season, he was actually really good. I'm on my fantasy team. He was not bad.
He should be pretty good. The defense should be good. I don't know what to think of the Seahawks. And then the Rams, I think, should be pretty good. Matthew Stafford,
this is one of his last seasons. He's like 37 or something.
What?
He might be 39.
Yeah,
he's old.
He's old. They're going to have to get I could see the Rams getting a quarterback like a Sam Levitt or a Lenore Sellers late.
We'd rather be Lenore Sellers. We do not want Sam Levitt going
I know. I could see them getting a quarterback late just so, because Matthew Stafford's old, and whenever he retires in like 3 or 4 years, they'll have like what Jordan Love did.
Yeah.
Enough about that. I don't know what to think about the other teams in the division, except I do know what the Cardinals need, and that's Kyler Murray to step up and be consistent. And if that can happen, I think they could go 11-6, 12-5, either a wild card spot or a division title.
Yeah, there's optimistic for this season. A lot of optimism. And I'm going to be honest, ever since being an Arizona sports fan, this might be the most highly anticipated season I've ever had, just because of what they got in their draft and how I can't wait to see what happens. Mm-hmm. Because you have first round pick Walter Nolan. What is he going to be like? You have Will Johnson, who fell down. There's so much good headlines. Marvin Harrison, what is he going to do? Kyler Murray, can he be consistent? The defense, is it going to be worth all that hype that it's getting? And you could just name all this stuff. And that's why I think this season is going to be good for the Cardinals, because I think once they start hearing that they're good, which sometimes it takes teams to do that. Once teams hear, sometimes their coach, they believe their coach, but like when they start hearing outside noise of, wait, this team actually could be good, there's like a bandwagon almost that just starts getting hyped on the Cardinals. And it's almost like I don't even know what they're called, the Peacocks from March Madness.
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's. It was like they were not the greatest team all season. They obviously made the tournament, but once all this hype starts getting surrounded them, it's like they literally play different, because everyone is just loving to watch them. And I think once the Cardinals get that, they can be good. And we don't want to rely on that, but I think if Kyler Murray's consistent, like Quinn said, this team by far will be a wild card.
Yeah, and I think that like the media like hyping us up could happen early. We have a very easy schedule. I think we play 4 top 10 picks teams that I think might be like bottom of the barrel next year in the first
We have
7
we
games.
have one of the easiest schedules. Like
I think
our
we play the
strength of schedule
Titans,
is, like,
Colts,
7.
Jaguars, and Panthers in the first 7 games.
Panthers will be tough, but
Yeah,
I think they
still,
could be
we
good.
should win that. And then
Kyler Murray needs
I
revenge.
think we could go 5-2 or 6-1 through until the bye week. And if we do that, then going into the bye week, things like, oh, the Cardinals actually might win the NFC West. Are they good? Kyler Murray's been looking pretty good.
Which I feel like also when they do start to say that, they get over their heads. But I think this year will be different because of how much they bonded. And I think they're tight, and I think they can be really good. Okay, now we're going to go to our last team, the Phoenix Suns. Not much news for them, but I do want to say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they have Kevin Durant next year. And I don't like saying that. But his trade value is going down and down and down and down and down. And with Giannis. And I don't know. I think the Suns are still going to try and trade him. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they still have him. With how crazy this has been. As much as I don't want to admit it, it's true.
I know the Suns, they're going to try to trade him. They have to. But I think they should have traded him at the trade deadline. And I think they should have traded him. I'm not mad that they didn't trade him before the season. They should have traded him at the trade deadline because now, especially with Giannis rumors, they all want Giannis instead of Kevin Durant.
Which is obvious. Yeah.
Because Giannis is a better player right now.
I think the Knicks are definitely front runners for the Giannis, in my opinion. Just because of how they're getting demolished by the...
Yeah. I just don't know how many teams want Kevin Durant. Of course, the Rockets are up there. I doubt the Spurs would try and get them. Maybe the Pistons need another superstar. I could see that.
Yeah,
or
that's a good... Yeah.
Maybe the Magic to have Paolo Banchero and Kevin Durant. I don't know. Just a young team.
Or the Heat.
I think if the Thunder were to lose in the second round to the Nuggets, they could have been candidates, but I don't think they're going to get him anymore.
Maybe the Timberwolves.